Hello, I am Tanya Green. During the next hour, we are going to take a step back in 2011 and review some of the major stories which made the news for the year right here at the Government Information Service. We will reflect on moments of excitement, times of sorrow, and actions taken throughout the year which will transform the lives of our people now and in the years ahead. The first quarter of the year was filled with several achievements, like that of 34 young men and women who began careers as officers of the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force. Dreams came true. 23-year-old Jacinta Fagan won the Miss Dominica title. New trends were set. Tasha P. Peltier won the 2011 Calypso Monarch title. We now join Kamala John-Baptist Aaron for a look back at some of the stories which made the news during the months of January to March 2011.
Hello, I am Kamala John-Baptist Aaron, and here's the news for the month of January. His Excellency Wang Zhonglai, Ambassador of the People's Republic of China to Dominica, officially accepted his position as resident ambassador. The Chinese diplomat presented his letters of credentials to Dominica's President, His Excellency Dr. Nicholas J. O. Liverpool, in January. A reception was also held in his honor at the Embassy of China. 34 young men and women on January 12 officially began their new careers as officers of the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force. The recruits graduated from the 29th training course of the Police Training School in Montrose. 19-year-old Marcus Jean-Jacques, a student of the Dominica State College, was awarded the Island Scholarship, which will allow him to further his education at any university he chooses. Jean-Jacques wishes to further his studies in actuarial science. Also in January, faculty and staff at the Ross University School of Medicine welcomed 423 new students to the institution. The Ross University School of Medicine was established in Dominica in 1978 and has since had approximately 8,000 graduates pursuing medical careers in the US and around the world. The Fisheries Division, in collaboration with the Dominica Water Sports Association, embarked on a series of sensitization programs in January, geared at educating the fishing and diving community on how to mitigate and control the invasion of the lionfish. The lionfish, a highly poisonous fish which accidentally escaped into the Atlantic, was sighted at 3 locations in Dominica. The American Corner of the Roseau Public Library officially opened in January. The American Corner's AC program is a United States Department of State sponsored initiative established worldwide more than 10 years ago. There are almost 400 corners in 60 countries all around the world. Key agencies met at the Fort Young Hotel in February to discuss how Dominica can combat the effects of climate change. The one-day workshop, dubbed The Vulnerability of Caribbean Countries to Combat Climate Change, was spearheaded by the Carib Save Partnership, an initiative of the University of Oxford. Residents of Mont Prosper and Trafalgar were trained in the effective management of disaster. The 2-day training exercise was facilitated by the Dominica Red Cross in collaboration with the Office of Disaster Management and the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP. The Dominica Agricultural Producers and Exporters Limited, DAPEX, in February exported its first ever air shipment of produce to Barbados. During the last 2 years, DAPEX had focused its efforts on Barbados and the regional market. DAPEX was able to export cargo occupying the full capacity of the plane, and for the first time, ginger was part of the export portfolio. 17-year-old Nicole Rodriguez of the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School won the 2011 Miss Teen Dominica title. Nicole walked away with 5 of 9 awards. She won Best Talent, Best Spectacular Wear, Best in Spectacular Wear, Best Evening Wear, and Best in Evening Wear awards. 16-year-old Millie Kazemi of the Portsmouth Secondary School came in the first runner-up position, while 15-year-old Amy Auguste of the Northeast Comprehensive School emerged second runner-up.
Something told me I was going to win, and I did it. I am proud of myself.
Yam farmers in the Central Agricultural District were introduced to new techniques in trellising yams. A training was hosted by the Caribbean Agricultural Research and Development Institute, CARDI, in the holding of Earl Grant in Crown. 23-year-old Jacinta Fagan from Czech Hall was crowned Miss Dominica in March 2011. Jacinta outdid the 6 other young ladies in the pageant and won the Best in Evening Wear award. She was also judged Miss Photogenic. The first runner-up position went to Erlene Labasia, and Rosilia Basil won the second runner-up position. Tasha P. Peltier was named the 2011 Calypso Monarch. The 23-year-old defeated 9 other competitors during the keenly contested 2011 Calypso Finals. This was the first time that a female competitor captured the Calypso Monarch title, and she claimed the title after winning the Calypso Queen competition and the Stardom Queen of the 10. The British government presented over $600,000 worth of special equipment which will be used by the police and customs unit in Dominica. The Rotary Club of Orleans in Ottawa, Canada teamed up with the Rotary Club of Dominica and the Embassy of Venezuela to develop the Library and Documentation Center at the Alpha Center. Over 15,000 Canadian dollars worth of books and teaching aid was donated to the school for this project. The Forestry and Wildlife and Parks Division embarked on a $1 million irrigation project at the Botanic Gardens. The project, which commenced on March 21st, 2011, is expected to significantly enhance the Botanic Gardens, ensuring that it is kept green throughout the year, especially during the dry season. These were some of the main stories which made the news at the Government Information Service for the months of January to March 2011. Back to you, Tanya.
Thank you, Kamala. The Government Information Service in the second quarter of 2011 made some breakthrough with the launch of a new live television program. Dominica's geothermal energy pursuits also moved up a notch in April with the signing of the contract for the drilling of exploratory wells. There were moments of excitement in Pitt Savan and Marigot as residents there witnessed the commissioning of new water systems. There were also moments of sadness with the death of former Acting Director of Agriculture, Richard Allport. We now join Raymond Lawrence for a look back at the main stories for the months of April to June 2011.
Thank you, Tanya. Now for a look at some of the stories making the news for the month of April. The Ministry of Education on Friday, April 1st launched 2 major events: the second National Mathematics Contest and the first National Excellence Principals Award for both primary and secondary schools. The contract for the drilling of exploratory geothermal wells in the Roseau Valley was signed in April. The contract for the over 4.5 million euros project was awarded to an Iceland drilling company and is being funded by the Agence Française de Développement, the European Union, and the government of Dominica. It was a moment of jubilation and heightened excitement in April when villagers of Petite Savane witnessed the official commissioning of the much-anticipated water supply project in that community. The Dominica Social Security hosted the 22nd meeting of CARICOM heads of Social Security. The meeting brought together directors of the Social Security organizations within CARICOM.
There is no doubt in my mind that this meeting is of great importance, not just for you as directors and heads of Social Security schemes, but for the many people of the region who depend on these schemes for their livelihoods.
10 Peace Corps volunteers in April were officially sworn in to render service in various fields and communities in Dominica. A training workshop was held in April for early childhood educators and officials of the National Drug Abuse Prevention Unit to discuss and make contributions towards the production of a manual. The Place of Safety, the first ever 24-hour residential home for abused and abandoned children on the island, was officially opened in April.
And the purpose of this Place of Safety is to improve the life chances of children and young people who are vulnerable, abused, or excluded.
Work on the Chinese-funded West Coast Road development project, which extends from Roseau to Portsmouth, was at an advanced stage in April with asphalting works in the Pickard-Portsmouth area. Indian High Commissioner to the Caribbean, His Excellency Malay Mishra, revealed that plans are underway for the forging of relations between the Caribbean Agricultural Research and Development Institute and the Indian Council on Agricultural Research. 51 graduates of the University of the West Indies Open Campus, Dominica, were officially recognized in April during a ceremony at the Fortune Hotel. Heads of various departments within the public sector participated in a one-day workshop in May. It was designed to encourage increased productivity within the government service. Domfesta celebration organized by the Cultural Vision was also held in the month of May. 2 musicians from the African continent performed in Dominica in May as part of the 2011 Domfesta celebrations. Balafon player from the Ivory Coast, Ali Keita, and Kares Fotso from the Cameroon entertained guests during a concert at the Fortune Hotel. The President of Dominica, His Excellency Dr. Nicholas Liverpool, officially broke ground in May for the commencement of construction of the new Grotto Home for the Homeless. The new facility will be located on a 2-acre plot of land provided by government in Bellevue Royal and will cost approximately $2.5 million. Discover the possibilities at your library was the theme for Library Week 2011. Library Week commenced on Monday, May 9th with an opening ceremony at the Portsmouth Library. In observance of the 50th anniversary of the adapted military service in Martinique, a pirogue of regiments accompanied by several yachts on the quay of the Fortune Hotel in May. A military ceremony was also held on Thursday at the cenotaph with members of the Dominica Police Force as well as other persons from Martinique. Construction work on the new Roseau Bridge was at an advanced stage in May. The new bridge is part of the West Coast Road Development Project, which is being undertaken by a Chinese construction firm. The Cabinet of Dominica, headed by Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit, continued its series of town hall meetings across the island in May. Prime Minister Skerrit and his team met with residents of Soufriere, Scots Head, Point Michel and Galion at the Point Michel Community Hall. Senior citizens in Solihull now have a registered group which will seek to address their concerns and make living more comfortable. The Senior Citizens Group was inaugurated during a ceremony at Laplace Dam. Construction work on the new Grand Bay Police Station continued in May. Government officials, along with Commissioner of Police, paid a visit to the project site and were impressed with the progress of work on the $3.6 million facility. The St. Mary's Primary School in May won the second National Primary School Mathematics Contest. The Solihull Primary copped second place and the Goodwill Primary came in third. There were a total of 6 primary schools competing for the championship trophy. Agriculture officials here mourned the passing of former Acting Director of Agriculture Richard Allport. Allport passed away at the intensive care unit of the Princess Margaret Hospital on Monday, May 16th. The Discover Dominica Authority, as part of activities marking Tourism Awareness Month, on Monday, May 23rd, launched the local leg of its I Am Dominica Are You campaign. The purpose of the campaign is to encourage all Dominicans to adopt positive behaviors towards Dominica.
My name is Gilbert Lavar. I am Dominica. Are you?
A brand new resource center was officially opened in Capuchin on May 31st. Over $70,000 was spent on the construction of the center with financing from the Caribbean Development Bank through the Basic Needs Trust Fund program. Stakeholders in the tourism sector were recognized for their outstanding contribution to the industry during a ceremony held at the Fortune Hotel in June. The Tourism Industry Awards ceremony formed part of activities celebrating Tourism Awareness Month 2011. The government of Dominica officially commissioned the over $6 million Portsmouth Fisheries Complex. The project was designed to provide fish landing and distribution infrastructure, including a fish landing jetty. Maria Gladys Waldron of the northern town of Portsmouth celebrated her 100th birthday this year. A special service was held in her honor at the Portsmouth Seventh-day Adventist Church. Leaders of the Dominica Christian Council, the Evangelical Association, and political parties marched from the Pottersville Savannah in what was described as a march for peace and non-violence in Dominica. The march ended on the Dame Eugenia Charles Boulevard, and together persons from all walks of life prayed for the nation. Several Chinese firms operating in Dominica made a collective donation of $30,000 worth of building materials to officials of the Goodwill Primary School towards the auditorium construction project. Airport security personnel in Dominica joined other security staff within the OACS in June at a workshop facilitated by the Eastern Caribbean Civil Aviation Authority. Its objective was to enhance security in the OACS airports. 24 security officials participated in the one-day training exercise. Commonwealth Secretary General His Excellency Kamalesh Sharma paid a one-day visit to Dominica in June. While here, the Indian diplomat paid courtesy calls on the President of Dominica, His Excellency Dr. Nicholas Liverpool, and Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit. Officials of the Dominica Fire and Ambulance Service teamed up with the Office of Disaster Management in June to sharpen the skills of officers in search and rescue techniques. The exercise is part of the department's preparation for what was expected to be an active hurricane season. 12-year-old Shari Sagastine of the Goodwill Primary School topped the 2011 Grade 6 National Assessment Examinations. This year, 1,128 students, including 532 boys and 596 girls, wrote the examinations. Prime Minister, the Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, presented the 2011-2012 budget address when the first meeting of the second session of the 8th Parliament got underway at the House of Assembly on June 29th. The Prime Minister sought approval of Parliament for estimates of expenditure for the financial year ending June 30th, 2012, amounting to over $400 million.
I am pleased to reiterate that, once again, there are no new taxes in this package of proposals.
A group of 8 doctors from the Caribbean Medical Mission of New Jersey visited the island in June and provided free medical care to hundreds of Dominicans. These were some of the major stories which made the news for the months of April to June 2011. Back to you, Tanya.
Thank you, Raymond. You're watching GIS Year in Review 2011. Looking back at the third quarter of 2011, we will remember the successes in music, like veteran calypsonian Soul Puss, who was judged as the crowd's favorite at testing the best calypso show. There were significant achievements like that of Dominican-born Erwin LaRocque, who took up the position as the 7th Secretary General of CARICOM. We will also remember those who suffered significant losses from the flooding associated with the breach of the Mathieu Dam. And telecommunications company Lime Dominica confirmed the company's adoption of the Roseau Primary School. We now join Pearl Fontaine with a look back at the major stories which made the news during the months of July to September right here at the Government Information Service.
Dominica's Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit expressed concern in July about the illness of Venezuela's President Hugo Chavez. The Venezuelan leader, in an address to his people, announced that he was being treated for cancer. Honorable Reginald Austri and Venezuela's ambassador to Dominica, Her Excellency Carmen Martinez de Grijalva, laid wreaths at the feet of the Simon Bolivar bust in Goodwill, as together they celebrated the 200th anniversary of Venezuela's independence.
Ahora y para siempre viviremos y venceremos. Viva President Hugo Chavez. Viva la República Bolivariana de Venezuela. Gracias.
The Caribbean Spa and Wellness Association hosted a 2-day symposium in Dominica on marketing strategies. Over 40 participants from the private sector, including CARIFORUM policymakers and international partners from the United Kingdom, Thailand and Germany, attended the July 12 to 13 meeting. Work on a 500,000 imperial gallon storage tank progressed satisfactorily in Mont Bruce in July. The $4 million project will enhance the water supply system in the capital, and a special chamber will be dedicated to providing water to the Windsor Park Stadium. Public Works Minister Honorable Rayburn Blackmore visited the Point Michel Sea Defense Wall project in July. The $23 million project will span 750 meters, extending from an area called La Falaise to Hollywood in Point Michel.
This project, I think it's a very good one. It's a very good investment the government is doing for Point Michel.
Dominica-born Erwin LaRocque is the 7th Secretary General of the Caribbean Community, CARICOM. LaRocque, 56, replaced Sir Edwin Carrington of Trinidad and Tobago, who stepped down at the start of the year after serving 18 years. 9 Dominicans were recognized in July for their contribution to the development of the island's culture. The awards were presented during the 2011 Golden Drum Awards ceremony, which was held at the Arawak House of Culture. Agriculture officials reported complete destruction of the Hillsborough Horticultural Center. The facility was destroyed by the raging waters of the Layou River following the breach of the Mathieu Dam. The raging water rushed from the heights of Layou, blazing a trail of destruction to physical infrastructure and agricultural lands before emptying its contents into the sea. The powerful force of the raging water destroyed a significant segment of the York Valley Bridge, making travels through this part of the island impossible. An aquatic interpretation center was opened at the Cabrits National Park. The center was handed over by the Organization of the Eastern Caribbean States at the formal closing ceremony of the OPO project at the Cabrits National Park on Friday, July 29, 2011. A three-day regional workshop on maritime security, port facility security and customs coordination ended in Dominica at the end of July. The program was funded by the Canadian government in collaboration with the Organization of American States.
Port security, maritime security, the threat of terrorism is an international problem and it requires an international solution.
The Dominica Agricultural Producers and Exports Limited, DAPEX, hosted its first ever exposition at the end of July. The event was geared toward introducing farmers to new technologies and a wide range of new products. The Dominica Council on Aging hosted a welcome banquet on August 4th in honor of members of the Qui Vivra Vera Association, an affiliate group from Martinique. The 19-member contingent spent 4 days on the island. Local historian and anthropologist Dr. Lennox Honeychurch released his latest publication, The Archaeology of Dominica, in August. Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit paid an official visit to the Republic of Azerbaijan in August. The purpose of the visit was to enhance bilateral cooperation in trade, agricultural development, tourism, education, and to explore ways in which the two countries can cooperate at the multilateral level. The 4th Annual Nature Island Literary Festival and Book Fair was held from the 5th to the 7th of August. The accompanying book fair and workshops exposed the public to a number of Caribbean works and writers.
The art of writing and reading is what is being celebrated and encouraged here today.
The Health Promotion Unit hosted a training program for over 45 diabetics and caregivers from the Portsmouth district in the management of the diabetic foot. The training included theoretical sessions on foot care, signs of problems, and a practical foot care demonstration.
We came at a time when we are seeing much more diabetics becoming amputees than we have ever had before in Dominica. So I think it was very timely.
Months after celebrating its 100th anniversary of operations in the capital, HHB Whitchurch began operations in the northern town of Portsmouth in August. 11 students of the Atkinson Primary School were granted full scholarships from the China Railway 17 Bureau Group. The scholarships are valued at $450 EC each and will include all textbooks, stationery bags, and uniforms. Stakeholders within the banana industry met in August to chart a collective way forward for the development of the industry. The one-day meeting allowed stakeholders to discuss ways to address the challenges confronting those involved in the industry.
We now have production that is way beyond what the markets can accept. And so we felt somehow that we needed to meet all the stakeholders to discuss the future of the banana industry.
The National Accreditation Board, in collaboration with the CARICOM Secretariat, hosted a 3-day training program in August for external assessors. It marked the second phase in the training of Trainers Workshop on Quality Assurance.
The promotion of the idea of improving educational quality is one of the important activities within the overall mandate of the National Accreditation Board of the Commonwealth of Dominica.
The Governance and Institutional Development Division of the Commonwealth Secretariat, in collaboration with the Government of Dominica, hosted a 3-day retreat for members of Cabinet and Permanent Secretaries at the Fort Young Hotel. 10 Dominican youths left Dominica for the People's Republic of China. The students were all recipients of the 2011 scholarship program and over the next few years will pursue studies in a variety of fields. There was heightened excitement in the Silver Lake community at the start of September following the announcement by government of a proposed housing project in that community.
I'm very happy that they took a stand to come and renew the homes for the people. It's a blessing.
Also in September, a High Court judge ruled that Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit and La Plaine MP Honorable Peter St. Jean would not take the stand to be cross-examined by opposition lawyers. The ruling evoked cheers from scores of DLP supporters who had gathered outside the court to show support since the court matter began.
We are liberated and we wanted that, and that is what we are looking for. For Monday we are there and we are solidarity with our Prime Minister.
General Manager of Lime, Dominica, Jeffrey Baptiste, confirmed the company's adoption of the Roseau Primary School. Baptiste explained that this was just another demonstration of the company's commitment to community building.
Today, I'm happy to announce that our commitment to education will expand to new ground as we officially announced our decision to adopt the Roseau Primary School.
32 inmates of the Dominica State Prison completed a 3-month workshop on substance abuse in September. The workshop was initiated by prison officials and facilitated by officials of the National Drug Abuse Prevention Unit.
Did I raise a wood? I never been rude. You know I'm wanted in my neighborhood. For when I pass the ball, watching good. But one day these things will over.
A $2.8 million water supply system was officially commissioned in Dalis. It brought to an end a water shortage problem which affected residents of that community for years.
Enjoy your water, drink plenty water, just don't waste the water.
Issues confronting the elderly were given attention during a 3-day regional workshop on the health of older people which was hosted in Dominica in September. Agriculture students of the Dominica State College got a practical experience of the operations of various departments of the Ministry of Agriculture during a 6-week internship program which ended in September.
Let this seed take root. Do not let anybody deter you from being associated with agriculture.
The legal fraternity in Dominica joined the other 8 member states of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court in formally marking the opening of the 2011-2012 law year. A church service was held at the Roseau Cathedral, which was followed by a march to the Roseau High Court. A health facility and resource center were officially commissioned in Clifton. It will also serve the communities of Capuchin and Cocoyer. The 2 centers were officially opened during the 14th inaugural meeting of the Village Council in September. The North End water supply in Marigot was commissioned on Friday, September 23, 2011. The project was funded by the Basic Needs Trust Fund and OASCO at a total cost of $1.6 million.
You should cherish the new water supply system that you have been given. And of course, do remember to pay your water rates on time.
The relocation of some families in Massac may be one of the options to be explored following major flooding prompted by persistent showers associated with Tropical Storm Ophelia. Prime Minister Skerrit visited the affected areas and saw first-hand damage to physical infrastructure, vehicles and dwelling homes. The government of Dominica broke ground in September for the construction of a 50-room, 4- to 5-star luxury hotel on the Cabot State Land site in Portsmouth. The project is being financed by the Kingdom of Morocco. This has been a look back at some of the main stories which made the news during the months of July through September. We now take you back to Tanya Green.
Thank you, Pearl. In the latter part of 2011, 275 students graduated from the Dominica State College. The first ever National Banana Exhibition was hosted at the Old Mill Cultural Center. Arthur Massicott of Vacas was recognized as the 2011 Cultural Elder. The Dominica Broadcasting Station celebrated its 40th anniversary in November, and the nation and the region mourned following the passing of 58-year-old musical icon Jeff Joe, who passed away at the Martinique Hospital on November 23rd. Our presenter, Mervyn Matthew, will now take you back to some of the main stories which made the news for the months of October to December.
Yeah man, this is King Dice and you're watching GIS Year in Review.
Let's now take a look at some of the main stories for the month of October 2011. Dominica hosted the 10th Annual Caribbean Week of Agriculture from October 9 to 15, 2011. It was observed under the theme, Caribbean Food and Nutrition Security in a Changing Climate, the Nature Island Experience. The Dominica Labour Party recognized 32 of its members from across the island for their service to the party. Awards were presented during a ceremony at the officers' quarters at Fort Shirley in the Cabrits National Park. In October, Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit led a delegation of government ministers and Chinese officials on a tour of the State House project.
A lot of people have been saying it is only for the residence of the president. It is the State House complex, which involves many different components. We're very pleased with the professionalism and the efficiency of the Shanghai Construction Company.
Cleve Glenn Seja is the new mayor of the Portsmouth Town Council. Seja and 12 other councillors were sworn in during the 15th inaugural meeting of the council. Daniel Nunez of Hibiscus Tours officially launched his trolley train at the start of the 2011 cruise ship season. It will provide tours of the capital city. The Dominica State College in October honored 275 students who met the requirements for the DSC's Associate Degree or Certificate qualification. The 9th commencement ceremony was held at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium under the theme, No Limits, Just Phases. 36 recruits graduated from the Police Training School in Monbrose. The training provided recruits with skills and knowledge required to effectively discharge duties as police officers.
I'm saying to you, as friends, that you should not get yourself involved in any illegal activities.
The ribbon cutting ceremony was held at the Dominica State College in October to mark the start of work on the expansion of that institution. The project is being funded with loan funds from the government of the People's Republic of China.
We cannot have the premier institution in this country in the present facilities that they have.
Arthur Massacre of Vekas was selected as the 2011 Cultural Elder. He was recognized during Heritage Day celebrations in his community for his contribution to the preservation, promotion and development of Dominica's culture. Daniel Luge was officially sworn in as an opposition senator in the House of Assembly. Luge replaced Claudius Sanford, who had his membership in the House revoked, to allow him to pursue a master's degree at an overseas-based institution. Following his swearing in, Luge and other opposition parliamentarians walked out of Parliament. It was the 6th walkout of Parliament by the opposition since the 2009 general elections.
To come to the Parliament, to clock in and clock out, and you're the same person speaking about integrity, transparency, accountability. Who are you accounting to by coming to Parliament for a few seconds and walking out?
Give thanks and not ask for nothing, cause where you are asked for, you got it already. Yes, you should give thanks and ask for nothing, cause that is your ask.
Yes, I am balanced. Give thanks and ask for nothing. You're watching GIS Year in Review. Enjoy.
For television, but it seems like you don't overstand.
The Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit and members of cabinet met with overseas-based nationals at the Fortin Hotel in November to dialogue with them on matters related to the country's development. On November 1, 2011, the Dominica Broadcasting Station celebrated its 40th anniversary.
Afternoon.
Welcome in the afternoon. Gotta say good afternoon to my good friends of GI and a better S, which tells the story naturally.
The 2011 National Youth Rally was held on Wednesday, November 2nd at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium as part of activities to mark Dominica's 33rd anniversary of independence. The Dominicans gathered at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium on November 3rd as the country celebrated its 33rd anniversary as an independent nation. 14 Dominicans were honored during the annual parade of uniformed groups. 3 received the Cicero Award of Honor, 5 were awarded the Meritorious Service Award, 4 received the Services Medal of Honor, and 2 obtained the Long Service Award. Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt also addressed the nation. The Arak House of Culture will soon be outfitted with state-of-the-art sound and light equipment from the Venezuelan government under the Alba Cultural Fund. A team from the Ministry of Culture, along with Patricia Kaiser, an official from Bila del Cine, a film production company in Venezuela, visited the facility in November to review the technical requirements needed for its upgrade. Dominica hosted the 51st session of the Caribbean Meteorological Council in November. The council meets once a year to define policy for the organization and to discuss all aspects of the operations and plans of the Caribbean Institute of Meteorology and Hydrology. One of the island's oldest jewelry stores, Julian's Jewelry, located on King George V Street in Roseau, was destroyed by fire in November. Vernie Julian, the sister of the proprietor, perished in the flames. Construction work on a $4.4 million new fire station continued at the Melville Hall Airport in November. It forms part of efforts by government to upgrade the airport to meet international safety standards.
It means a whole lot for us. Clearly we are getting what is easily or what will be our best facility on the island, and I have a very strong feeling to rival some of the better facilities in the region.
Dominicans on Friday, November 4 responded to a call by government to clean up and beautify their surroundings on the National Day of Community Service. The government in November presented over $160,000 to fishermen of Layu. This will assist the fisher folk with the purchase of new equipment and fishing gear which they lost following the breach of the Matye Dam. The Waiti-Kubuli National Trail Research Facility was officially commissioned in November. The facility located at Port Carcel will function as the official headquarters of the Waiti-Kubuli National Trail and as a center for research and administration. The official commemoration of Remembrance Day took place at the War Memorial on Sunday, November 13. Remembrance Day is observed in Commonwealth countries to remember the sacrifices of members of the armed forces and civilians in times of war, specifically since the First World War. The Fisheries Division launched its first ever cookbook, 53 Recipes of Diamond-Backed Squid, in November. The cookbook was developed to promote the catch and consumption of the squid. Hundreds of students in November participated in a walkathon organized by the Roving Caregivers Program. The event was held under the theme, I Believe in Early Childhood Development, Give Our Children the Foundation They Deserve. The Library and Information Service in November staged an international college recruitment fair at the Goodwill Parish Hall. Dominicans interested in tertiary level education got the opportunity to meet representatives from overseas as well as local universities and colleges. The 19th meeting of the Council of Ministers of CARIFORUM was held at the Fortin Hotel in November. The meeting looked closely at the success of the region as it relates to its program under the 10th EDF.
The 19th meeting of CARIFORUM, in my mind, is critical for providing CARIFORUM with focused direction and context.
Now for a look at some of the stories which made the news in the month of December. Minister for National Security, Immigration and Labour, Honorable Charles Savre, returned to office on Thursday, December 1. The minister returned to Dominica in July following open-heart surgery at Martinique Hospital in June. Key development partners met at the Fortin Hotel on December 2nd to review Dominica's growth and social protection strategy.
Today's activity is meant to provide you, our partners, with the opportunity to make your own input into the process and to identify areas for engagement with the government and people of Dominica.
The Dominica Agricultural, Industrial and Development Bank hosted its 40th anniversary dinner and awards ceremony in December. The formal event was one of the major activities of the bank's 40th anniversary celebrations. The late Goodwill Ambassador and founding member of the original Gramax Band, Jefferson Jeff Joe Joseph, was laid to rest on December 3rd. The 58-year-old musical icon passed away at the Martinique Hospital on November 23rd. He was given an official funeral in his home community of St. Joseph. The government in December continued its pursuit of geothermal energy with the commencement of the drilling of exploratory wells in Loda. Corporal Marion John Lewis of the Dominica Police Force, who passed away at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Barbados, received an official military funeral in Salisbury in December. Corporal John Lewis, who battled with leukemia for several months, died at the age of 41. This has been a look back at some of the main stories which made the news during the months of October to December 2011. We now take you back to Tanya Green.
For the past hour, we have taken you back through 2011 and reflected on the significant moments which shaped the lives of our people. We here at the Government Information Service thank all our viewers for tuning in every evening for nightly news, both the English segment and Creole highlights with Macpherson St. Louis. On behalf of the entire production team, the GIS News Desk, and management of the Government Information Service, we thank you for viewing and look forward to your support in the year 2012.